I'm Matt Yerkes from Cultivate, and we are a business incubator. We have 3 locations. We're in London, Grove City, and Pickerington, but we really serve entrepreneurs all over the state of Ohio and a few out of state. So we basically help people start and grow their business. So we try and organize in-person and live stream trainings, video trainings every month. We try and put something together. And Katie has done a number of presentations for us. Katie is actually one of our oldest members. So she's been with us since the early days, and we're really glad to have her and go through this material to help us grow our businesses. So like I said, I'll send out an email afterwards with some links and things like that. It might be a day or two before I get that sent out. But I just want to welcome Katie, welcome you all, and I will turn this over to Katie.
Well, hello, everyone. Good morning. As Matt said, my name is Katie. My name is Katie Browder Person, if you want my full name. And I am the owner of Catbro Consulting. I am actually located now in the Brewery District in downtown Columbus, but I formerly was located inside of one of the Cultivate facilities in Grove City, and I think lived there for like 4 years. It was fantastic, and really helped me get to where I needed to be in order to venture out on my own. I am still an active Cultivate member because I definitely believe in the services, and I'm really glad that you guys could join me today. I realized in this slide, just so I could be transparent, that I normally have an introduction slide, and I totally forgot to put that in there. So it's usually like a really great picture of me that looks a lot better than what I look like today. And it tells you a little bit about me as a person. So the short of that is I am a mother of 3. I have 2 big girls that have gone off to the world and 1 little guy that's still stuck at home. And I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur, and I am a community servant. So I enjoy doing things like this to help elevate other small businesses, and I do anything that I can do to help the small business community. Now we can go ahead and dive into the training because it looks like we have such a great audience today. I will actually have a couple stopping points where I will allow questions and things of that nature, but because Facebook is kind of like a really big thing to try to cover very quickly, we'll just need to keep on trucking as much as we can. So today, here's a couple things that we're going to discuss. We're going to look at some of the organic features on Facebook. And when I use the term organic, I want everyone to understand that organic in this setting means free. So these are like features that you don't have to pay for, don't have any kind of paid, feature tags along with it. We're going to look at a couple content tips, things that we could probably be doing to make our pages better, more engaging. We'll look at the paid features on Facebook. And again, I'm letting you guys know these are overviews. There are probably going to be certain things that I highlight that you might have future questions in. Just go ahead and drop a message to Matt or a message to me, and maybe we could come up with a future class that focuses on a particular feature. But for now, we're going to do kind of an overview. And then I also will, at the end, kind of give you a little strategy combo ideas that can help you move forward. I am going to keep my chat feature at the bottom here, but if you guys, like I said, have any questions, I'll have some stopping points where I stop and answer them, but I'll keep it closed for now. Okay, sorry, I gotta move this box out my way. Sheesh. All right, so couple of the organic features for Facebook that we're going to look at here in just a moment. And we're really going to go right to Facebook. We're not going to do a whole bunch of slides on these features. I mean, you need to see them live. As we're going to look at the features on the business page that you guys might have. And if you do not have a business page, then of course you can get one set up, very easily through your existing personal account. And we'll also look at some posting features because Facebook has introduced quite a few posting features that will allow you to, come up with different types of posting ideas, as well as schedule postings and even be able to kind of look at your strategy from a bird's eye view. So it's really kind of cool that they added those. And then we'll look at some messenger features. And those are just, kind of making sure that you're getting the most of your Facebook page. That way when you're away, there's still communication going on with people who might be interested in learning about your services. Okay, so let's go ahead and head over to Facebook, and we're just going to go through just some of the most basic features. Again, these are all organic features. Facebook does not charge you to use any of these features. Okay, so if you can still see my screen, you'll see that we're now on the Cat Bro business page. So when I step through some of these things, a couple of them you're probably going to already know. And I just want to make sure that even those who are brand new to Facebook and maybe just have no idea what in the world is going on, that they get, a little piece too. So sorry if any of you are like, I already know this stuff. It's okay. That's how it is sometimes. As you know, of course, the homepage is really where you're going to see the majority of your postings and things of that nature. On your homepage, you're going to want to always make sure that you have a great banner that displays what you're doing. It could be a service, it could be a special, it could just be like a general banner like this. During times when I don't run specials or have events or anything, I just put a little, banner here that I know matches the branding of my website. I really can't stress enough how important it is to do these actions when it comes to the look of your Facebook account, because it is quite often that I'll go onto like a new client's page or maybe someone that's come to a class, and their Facebook banner, their Facebook image will look nothing like the website. And it really throws a potential consumer off. It throws them off. They're like, am I at the right place? Is this, is this the correct business? Or they might even feel like it's less professional than what you really want to communicate yourself. So I kind of say that because the other day I was on a realtor's website and he had this really great, web, and I clicked on his Facebook account and he's just got kind of like a picture of him and his buddies. It looks like maybe they went golfing as his banner picture. He had a really super professional icon here, but it just threw me off a little bit because it's like you have a really professional picture here, and then he's got this really very casual picture that has nothing to do with his brand. And for a minute there, I actually thought maybe I was on his personal page and not his business page. So you see the conundrum there. You just want to make sure everything looks super consistent. And then with saying that, you also want to make sure that if a person is on the homepage, they can very easily access your information. So you want to make sure that you have your location updated, your description updated as well, to whatever you want that description to read. I always go from a stance of making sure that my description is complementary to what the description is on my website, but not the same. I really feel that it's important for me to show a different piece of my brand's personality on each of my social platforms. So Facebook is kind of the personality of our brand, where we choose to educate and promote ourselves. And then if we, on LinkedIn, we might do a little bit deeper education and less promotion. And on Instagram, that's actually where we show like samples of our work, and we do kind of those more engaging type posts. So it just, whatever you guys decide your strategy is, I would definitely encourage you not to just copy and paste your bio among all the platforms. Make it a little bit different. You also want to make sure you have your website displayed, your phone number, your hours of operation. That's funny. It says we're always open, which it feels like, but we're actually not. So I need to change that. Make sure that you're categorized correctly, and add, of course, your additional social icons there. So all of those items can be updated and completed through the Edit Page Info tab here. And you could add additional categories, like if I wanted to put web development, because that is actually something that we do. See how kind of easy it like pops up for you, and then you can just click it. Oh, sorry, I exceeded the limit. It does only allow you to do 3, as we just saw here. And then again, you can go in here and do your contact information. If you work a lot with individuals like outside the country, you might have a WhatsApp number as well. Of course, put your location. So here's, these are all the places where this would be accomplished. And well, since we're here, let's go ahead and actually throw my hours in there. So we can say like, hey, it's very easy. So I'll just say, hey, we're open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Those are pretty standard hours. And you see how easy it is to just kind of accomplish that task. See? And you just have to do it all the way down, of course. Now, one thing I will let you know, because a lot of people kind of freak out about, is Facebook autosave. So it does kind of freak you out a little bit when you're like, oh, shoot, I don't know where to save it. But don't worry, if you click to the next screen, it auto saves what you had in the previous screen. All right. So if I refresh the screen, then it should just tell you I'm open on Monday, which would mean I'm closed today. All right, let's see. Now, well, it hasn't updated yet. Well, I tried to give you a good example, but it hasn't updated yet. So maybe by the time we get through the tutorial here, it'll update. So the next tab that you'll want to pay attention to is, of course, your services tab. So you want to make sure that you actually are adding services that you do that you want people to connect with you on. You can do that as far as like naming your prices. I don't personally use this feature because I really kind of would rather they call me and I can explain what we do. But if you have something like perhaps you have 1 or 2 particular services that you offer, or maybe you are a consultant that just offers like a personal one-on-one plus maybe a VIP day or something, this is a great place for you to be able to set your price, describe your service, and then people can actually book appointments right here through Facebook for you. The next tab you'll want to pay an awful lot of attention to is, of course, the review section. So you'll want to maybe highlight this whenever you can, like, hey, give us a review on Facebook. It's a great way for individuals to begin to trust your services. It's kind of like, you know, how we all go to Google. You know, we're all going to go to Google. We're all going to try to figure out if the people we're trying to work with are good people. Well, Facebook's the same way. You know, folks are going to Facebook as well. They want to see, like, what are people saying about you on social media? Because I'm not sure if others think like me, but I always, when I'm looking at like a new restaurant or a new hotel or something, I'll go to their Facebook because I kind of feel like the social media reviews are more true. You know, so, I feel like, you know, sometimes Google reviews, although, you know, they're excellent to have, there's, you know, an element of, you know, maybe someone not telling you like their whole story. You know, people usually give like these really short Google reviews, like great food or blah, blah, blah. But on Facebook, ooh, they go to town on you. Like, if you are not good, they're going to tell the whole story of their experience. And so I usually like to have a really solid review on Google or on Facebook for things that I do. So this is an important section for me. I want people to always be able to see what clients are actually saying. The next thing that you'll notice in your features now is shop. So any of you guys that actually have tangible products that you sell, you can build a shop right here on Facebook. And I've actually done this for several clients, and we've built their Facebook stores, of course, to also be able to appear on Instagram. Because if you don't know by now, Facebook owns Instagram, and they have owned them for many years. And so everything you kind of do on Instagram in terms of advertising or even setting up a shop like this, those items are technically taken care of through Facebook Business. So you can go to the Commerce Manager here. And that is exactly what this feature on Facebook is. It is a e-commerce feature. So it allows you to have like an in Facebook store. If you happen to have like a Shopify store or an Etsy account, and I think maybe even Wix or wow, BigCommerce is one that they said is here, but I'm pretty sure Wix is one also. If you have like a Wix commerce store, you can pull them through Facebook. But if you don't have those stores, you can actually set everything up right here in Facebook. So it'll kind of, look a little bit like these stores that you see here that they're featuring. These are Instagram stores. And then the Facebook stores look a little bit more, like how we would know Facebook to look. You can put your checkout in, you can put your PayPal's in your Stripe account. You can actually be able to do everything right there in Facebook. So it's a great way for people to sell things off of their website. Or in the case of two of the clients that I helped set this up for, they simply just didn't have an e-commerce site and weren't sure they were at the point in their business where they wanted to have one. So we began to test their products on Facebook first. So that's certainly something that you can do also. Now, as I said before, I'm not going to go through a process of setting up a Facebook store. I do actually offer a class on that, and that may be something that Cultivate will want to offer in the future as well. It's very detailed. It's a very detailed 2-hour class, but it takes you through the entire process of creating a Facebook store and Instagram store. So beyond the shop features, if you go under the More tab on your main page, you'll see a couple other features that we'll highlight today. We won't go through everything, but there are certain things that I do find very important when it comes to understanding the organic tools that are available to you to propel your business. One of them being events. Events is so super important to me because events is a great way to get perfect strangers interested in something that you have going on in your facility, because events are very easily searched in the Facebook search engine or search bar here. If you're being invited to an event as a co-host, which I thought I accepted those already. Oh yeah, that one's old. If you're being invited as a co-host, you can, the person can actually invite you to be a co-host and you can invite another person to be a co-host. And that way the event shows up on both of your pages, which is fantastic. And from the event pages, you can also have paid advertising features available to you for that. So you want to make sure that if you are having an event, whether it's a small free open house or a larger event that's paid or an online event, create an event page on Facebook to kind of propel that reach for those who may be looking for an event like yours. Another thing that I wanted to highlight here, and sorry if I keep going back and forth out of my notes here, is the community tab. So in the community tab, you'll see all of the groups that you belong to, as well as the, oops, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. Did I hit the right thing? Yep, sorry. Let me show you that feature when we go over here. I'm actually think I'm on the wrong thing there. So erase what you just heard. So we will deal with Facebook groups here in a sec. But actually, that does kind of segue me into a very important tool, since we are talking about this side of the page. The important tool I want to kind of like highlight for you right now is Planner. So we'll get back to the groups because there's another section on that. So Planner is a Facebook tool right now that is allowing you to kind of look at your postings from a bird's eye view. You can also schedule a post here. So those of you who are familiar with using tools like Buffer or Hootsuite, Facebook kind of like built in this type of experience. So it's quite easy to, put a post together. You just come up here to create a post or create a story if you're trying to do a story. Okay, you'll let Facebook know if you're going to be posting it to Facebook or post it to Instagram. You can actually pull your Instagram through your Facebook now. so that you can do postings from there. That's a feature that actually was added in 2020. Yeah, probably like that early part of 2020. So some people have recognized this there, but some people haven't. So you can, begin your text from there, add photos, add videos, create a video. That's a newer feature that was in 2020 as well, where it'll allow you to add various pictures from, your desktop, and you can put words on top of it. You can put a little music behind it. There's, lots of different things that you can do with that. And then decide, like I said, if you want to post it to Facebook or Instagram. So I'm going to make a fake post, but we're not going to actually post this. So I'm just going to say hello. And for the sake, we'll add a photo. I'm sure I got a photo of something on my desktop somewhere. This is one of my stats. So I'm gonna add a little photo about my stats. All right. So if I wanted to publish this now, I just hit publish and go about my day. But if I wanted to actually schedule this out for another day, I would just hit this little downward caret, click on schedule post, and I can actually choose what day I want this post to go out and the time. So you could create your entire week's worth of postings this way and just have them pre-scheduled. So you can go back to doing your business, go back to working with your clients, and not worrying about posting necessarily on social media. I like to do scheduled posts. This is just like a pro tip. I like to do scheduled posts for holidays. I like to do scheduled posts for materials like promotional things and evergreen type things like quotes. But I still keep a very nice balance of things that we are posting live or more, immediately, more dynamic, we call it dynamic content. Because, you still want your social media to be very social. You still want it to be really personable. So you don't want to have a ton of scheduled things. It's just really great to be able to know, oh, shoot, I forgot to post today. Oh, that's all right. There's a quote that went out, so you can still show presence on the web. All right, so we're discarding that because I don't want that. But as you can see, if you go through your schedule here, sorry, my computer clicked over. All right, let me go back. So if you were to kind of look at a bird's eye view of your month, you could see all the times that you posted. And then that would help you to be able to know, oh, hey, I wanted to make sure I posted on maybe some of these off days, or we've got a special open house or something coming up. Let me go ahead and pre-schedule a post there. So it's giving you a little bit of a scheduler now. And that is not a feature that, Facebook normally had offered to people before. So I wanted to make sure that I highlighted that for you as well. There's also a couple post features that maybe you guys don't quite know a lot about. So I did want to go into the post features as well. And just for the sake of you knowing, you can go into publishing tools and accomplish the same action that I just showed you. I personally like the calendar because I'm just real visual. So I really like the way that looks, but you can go into the publisher tab and still be able to do the exact same thing. You're just going to get more of this view here. And this view is definitely going to provide you with the details of like your reads and your post reactions, that kind of thing. Okay. All right. So when you're going to put a post together, there's times, of course, when I'm sure you're not even sure like what in the world to post. So there's a couple little things, and most of you guys have probably seen this if you post on Facebook. There's a couple little features that now you can kind of add to your postings. Now these are not necessarily new features, but they reposition them in a different place. So I thought I would go ahead and show them to you. All right. So if you go into create a post, and let's say we just write hello again. You can add a couple things to your post. You could add, you course, photos and videos like you normally would. You could add a little button on your post that encourages people to message you. So, you could put something up like, hey, one day only, if you message me, you'll receive a this for booking an appointment or something, and it will allow a customer, a potential customer, to send you a message directly through the post. And that hasn't always been positioned in that same place or even been offered. Of course, they have the WhatsApp messages that are available now too. Feelings and activities, although this has been there since the beginning, people still don't use it enough, I don't feel. And I think it adds a little something to the post. It's like when you're posting something about, hey, it's been a long day making baskets, and then you put, feeling blessed. I personally get a lot more feedback when I do those kind of things, and I make sure that I check in wherever I'm at, whether I'm at work. And then also, I've been kind of playing around with the host a Q&A feature, and I'm not sure that if any of you guys have kind of played with that feature, but you can actually host quite an engaging conversation by just, creating the caption, and then a person would click like, yes or no, or they would create like a poll. You might say like, how many people like chocolate ice cream? And then they would actually be able to click directly inside of the post itself. So those usually appear more as like Instagram stories or Facebook stories, but either way, they're really cool tools for like, if you're just super at a loss of something creative to do, just, tap on one of those tools and use it. There's obviously, Facebook Live, and there's a place and time and place for that inside of this presentation as well. But there's Facebook Live, and then of course there are other features to help you sell things, like make an offer feature and those things of that nature. So let's go over here, because I want to definitely make sure that I touch up on Messenger features, because Messenger is a great way to engage people when you're not always able to answer a response. So let's say you're busy doing events and you put a post out about, an event special that you're doing, and someone inquires about you, but you can't get to them till later in the day. You definitely don't want to leave that person hanging. You want to give them at least some kind of feedback like, hey, we saw this message from you. We're going to call you back in 24 hours. Or, hey, click on this link and head over to our website to book an appointment. So the way to do that without, tying up your time is to go into the Messenger features. So right here in messaging, you could do like general settings, anything that, you want to kind of trigger the conversation. So down here, like I think a blanket one that's like, hey, thank you for getting in touch with us through Messenger. Someone will be in touch with you within the next 24 hours, or call the office. And then it has the actual office phone number. But if you want to activate that feature, you just would click here to turn it on, click on change, and you could type exactly what the question or what the autoresponder should say. You could add different things like the customer's name that makes it a little bit more personable. And you can, I usually don't do last names. I'll do like first names, like just say, hi, Katie, thank you for reaching out to us, and then of course, make sure you save that. You can also set up automatic responses for things that you do during the auto response experience. I personally don't use this for my page, but I have set this up many times for other customers. Usually when I have a person message me on Messenger, because I work on social media, I'm pretty quick to respond. So, oh, that one built one in for me, and I need to change the phone number. I'll have to do it later. I have to do it to the other side. But in any case, so there's lots of different features. As you can see, you can have an away message, you can have frequently asked questions. And what's great about Facebook is they kind of will trigger you on the kind of questions to ask. So if you're just kind of at a loss of like, well, what do I say when I'm away? They're going to give you like an example post, and then you're, going to be able to, formulate what you want. You can add anything like your hours, and you can also use it for the job feature, which I didn't talk about much, but I'll show you where that's at also. So if you are hiring, since we are talking about jobs, if you are hiring, Facebook actually has a job feature where you can post jobs. And so as you can see in Messenger, like if a person responds to your job, you could actually set it up through Messenger where you're sending them an autoresponder that says, hey, your application's been received. So that would go somewhere down here. Yeah. You can add different things like buttons that go to your website, or attachments like new hire forms, or things of that nature. I'm not sure I would get like too involved in, unless you work in an industry where a person really needs to read a prerequisite before they go to the next step with you. I wouldn't get like too crazy on putting attachments in there. Because I mean, it's Facebook, but you get the gist. They're absolutely trying now to be more accommodating for small businesses. And in my opinion, Facebook kind of wants to become like your mini website, if anything. So those are a few of the organic features. For some of you who host events a lot, event ticketing is a big one, because you can now like integrate it with Eventbrite and actually sell tickets right there. What I will say is that Facebook will promote free tickets. So like, if you have like an event like this one and you wanted to promote it through with Eventbrite integration with Facebook, they'll let you do that. The paid tickets, they're still not allowing us to do that with the integration. It's more like you can share the link and in your Facebook event, but you can't do it with the paid ones yet. There's, of course, like Facebook badges. Those things aren't really, in my opinion, necessarily selling tools or tools that can help you enhance your business, but I'm happy to go over those. Maybe like in another segment, we can go over like those little ancillary things that Facebook offers. The Facebook badges, I actually do use those, and that's because people who respond a lot, they like to be like your biggest fan. And I don't know if anyone is like a part of any of those news or media networks, but like I'm on 10 TV, and because I comment a lot, I like got marked as their biggest fan. And so, it's just a way to engage the customer. Okay, so we talked about a couple of the features on just your standard business page. We also looked at the scheduling and posting tools, which some of you may have known were there and some of you may not have. There are so many things. You could probably literally sit here all day on Facebook and discover new stuff. There's business apps. If you have a podcast, there's ways for you to share that in there. There's ways for you to connect with podcasting that you already love. But one of the features that I have really loved is Facebook groups. So Facebook groups is a great way for you to not just connect with other people, but also if you are building a Facebook group, that it's a great way for you to kind of like sub-segment your membership. So let's say you sell clothing. And you sell women's clothing primarily. Well, you might have a Facebook group called Shoe Lovers. And so you could put things in your group about shoes. You could put things in your group about like sales you have going on. You can even put just shoe fashions, but everybody in that group is a shoe lover, and they're going to be more willing to engage you on that type of content. And people get a little bit more chatty, when it comes to their Facebook groups. So on here, and this is what I was looking for earlier, Facebook moves stuff on me all the time. So on here, there is a place where you can merge your group, and now I don't see it. I'm sorry. It's normally at the top of the screen for me, but as I said, Facebook is not any more kind to me just because I work on it every day. They move stuff like all the time, and I always got to figure out where they moved it to. So if I can discover it in my notes before we leave this session today, I will certainly circle it back around. And in fact, I will probably at least send out like, hey guys, I finally found it. Here's where it's located now. But it's actually a place on Facebook where you can actually merge your groups with your pages. But I'm sorry, for some reason, I don't seem to see it here right now. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, these are just suggested groups. Let's see that. That's all right. I won't waste too much time on it. I'll just tell you guys later when it comes in, because I actually do run a couple of groups. I run a group called Get Social, which is a social media only group. So it just talks about like all these social media tips and things like that that people would love. And then a digital marketers group that talks a little bit more about the overall scope of digital marketing. So I'll be happy to send you guys also links to those if you want to join any of those groups and just get tips on a regular basis. But okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. All right, so moving forward, there are a couple tips I wanted to share to you about organic reach. So number one, you want to make sure that you are posting native content. So what I mean by native content is content that only lives on Facebook. So yes, this does mean that the majority of your content, you do not want to have links that go outside of Facebook. And I get that question a lot because I know people are really big on like trying to promote their websites and their SEO. And I want you to be able to do that. And there's certainly a time and place for it. But the reality is that Facebook is giving those posts less reach than the native posts. They want a user to stay on Facebook. So, there's a couple ways around it, in terms of sharing your websites and your blogs. That's okay. You're just going to have to know that, hey, when I share those posts, not everybody's going to see them, but, as many people as can will see them. Of course, the more attention you have on your page, the more people that get to see your post anyway. So, your odds get a little bit more in their favor, the more that you are having like that engaging content. But a workaround, however, is, when you're doing videos, even though you might have a YouTube video, go ahead and upload it organically, or not organically, but natively to Facebook as well. And then of course, share your video via Facebook itself. Allow your YouTube channel to be linked out, in other ways through email marketing or Twitter or, other sources. But when it comes to Facebook, go ahead and upload those videos directly to Facebook. You also want to make sure that when you are posting that native content, that you are striking up positive conversation. Really, really, really important, because it's okay to have like a debate type conversation. And I don't mean positive, like it all has to be, sunny and roses. I mean, I would stay away from things that are going to allow Facebook to possibly flag you. So I would stay away from things that are politically charged, or even like, maybe other social issues. If you're going to post things on your page, maybe post things where you're asking people about their opinion on something, or something funny or something fun. You're going to get a lot better response anyway from your customer, and you won't be on Facebook's radar. They're getting really, really touchy about those types of things, and they're just shutting folks down like all day. So I just want you to avoid that issue as much as you can. Make sure that you're posting very engaging content. So, content that is interesting to your client, not necessarily just a video or something about this lipstick that you're selling, but maybe a video about shades of lipstick that go with certain skin tones, or shades of lipsticks that go with the season, those kind of things that a person would say, hey, I've got to check that content out. We want to make sure that we're keeping the social in social media. So I think that, that's why Facebook's also getting a little bit more strict, is because they're noticing that Facebook is getting a little too salesy. So that's why you may see, of course, like a post that you put out there where you have a direct link to something for someone to buy, and they're doing it on your website, and you're like, hey, I only got like 4 likes, but then I did this quote and I got a bunch of likes. Well, Facebook user is like, hey, I'm interested in that, and I'm not interested in going to your website. Now, the workaround for that is, I just showed you Facebook store. Start putting maybe some feature items in there, and keeping that stuff native, because they're definitely going to promote your Facebook store. You also want to make sure that you are promoting good community development. So that's where the Facebook groups that I was referring to comes in, if I ever find that feature tab again. But you want to make sure that people who are visiting your pages, they know what groups you're running, so that you can continue to promote those Facebook groups and foster that relationship. The more that you could pull a person into the group, the more that they come from just that awareness stage to that, active engagement stage that you want to see on your pages. And then last but not least, you want to use video content. So I do have a video coming up here very shortly. It's a fairly short video about Facebook Live. It is extremely informative. So, it's one of the reasons why I wanted to show it to you guys today, because I really want you to know everything you can about really how to leverage Facebook Live. Okay. So just going over some of the quality over quantity features that, or I guess the ideology that I have is, so lately I've been doing a lot of little testings on Facebook, and it used to be rule of thumb that you would post like 1 to 2 posts a day, so that would mean a person would post anywhere between 10 to 14 times a week on Facebook. Well, I began to see like a serious decline with some of our clients and the reach that they were getting with that posting schedule. But I definitely still saw people were educating it that way. So I just began to kind of play around with things a little bit and do some additional research. And what I found now is that with the new Facebook algorithm, you want to post just a couple of times a week. So we're now posting about 3 times a week on a person's page, but you can post several times a day during that period. So we're posting like maybe 2 times a day, but 3 times a week versus 1 post every single day, and getting a lot better response. So I wanted to share that with you, as well as share with you some of the best and worst posting times for Facebook that I've been able to look up and find. So the best times on average for people are between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And that's never really changed. That's kind of always been that way. But 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., because I honestly think 2 p.m. is still active. That's kind of like the lunch time, so that's like when everybody is, sitting in the break room, and the first thing you're doing is paging through Facebook, or you're running to the restroom and you're on the toilet paging through Facebook. I don't want to embarrass anybody, but it's the truth. And then that there's just those times of the day. The second best posting time for Facebook is early in the morning. Like when people first wake up, they open their eyes, they hit the alarm clock, and they grab their phone. That's just like, I don't know, it's like human nature now. You page through a little bit and then you roll yourself out of bed. So if you're going to also do a secondary best posting time for Facebook, then you'll want to do that between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. so that those hours work out really well for you also. The worst times, which this kind of actually surprised me, was 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. because I would have honestly thought that in the evening would be a good time too, after people get off of work. But there's lots of stats out there that are now showing that people are doing a little less, paging through things in the evening time. And then I also can tell you from my own experience, those have been not very good posting times for me. So that's why I put that out there for you. So there's lots of ways to use video content to grow your business. So I did talk about early on about adding video content as a part of that kind of organic strategy. So videos can be used in a number of different ways. So you don't have to just feel like, oh, it's going to have to be me on the screen doing some kind of tip. And, and that might give you a little anxiety, but it's not really. I mean, you can turn it over to the customer and you can have them do some video reviews for you. Video reviews are extremely powerful and can very easily be done through a number of different features that are offered out there in the world. People can even just take a video on your phone and send it to you. So, you might have to give them a little incentive to want to put themselves on camera, but video reviews are excellent. You also, of course, will want to do those traditional expert tip videos, which people tend to be a little scared of the first couple times they do it, but after a while, it actually becomes pretty fun. And then I also encourage you to use video when you're announcing something really special. Don't just throw up a flyer like, hey, we've got candles on sale. No, get on video and show them a candle and smell it and, engage the person, make them really feel like they are experiencing this candle with you, and you will really see your sales increase. But I didn't lie. That's a great video for Facebook Live, isn't it? Like, you learned a lot of stuff there in just like 7 minutes or so. It was absolutely one of the best I had seen out there for quite a while. So we're going to get started with the paid features pieces. And this one won't take as long as the organic features, because the paid feature is basically Facebook advertising. So if you do not have a Facebook ad account, you will want to go ahead and set up one on Facebook or business.facebook.com. Make sure that, when you set up your ad account there, that you are setting like a couple parameters, like you want to put in like a particular card that you want to use and make that only for your advertising. You want to set yourself a budget so that you don't accidentally ever go over budget. That does happen. So, go ahead and set a firm budget. If it's $100, it's $100. If it's $1,000, it's $1,000. Just set a firm budget so that it will trigger Facebook to at least tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, I think you're overspending. You might want to look at your ad. And then also, before you get started, you want to make sure that you understand your target market and the buyer persona in which you're going to be selling to. This is money. So I can't say that any more clearly. When you are advertising, it's money. Even when you're boosting a post, it's money. But a boost post is a little less scary than actually setting up a ad through Ad Manager for most people. But when you're even boosting a post, make sure you're boosting a post that matters. I'm going to tell you personally, when I work with people and they have a certain amount of boost post credits that come with some of our packages, we are only going to boost posts that are going to make you money. We're not going to boost posts about some random free event unless that event is going to be a part of your sales funnel that will end up with you making money. We're not going to boost posts about a quote, or a question of the day. We're going to boost posts that are going to provide people a direct link to your website to make a purchase, or to your calendar to make an appointment, or whatever have you that you do. And so that is one workaround to that whole Facebook won't give your posts a lot of reach if you are sending it outside of Facebook. Well, they sure will if you're paying them to do it. So you want to be really strategic in that as well. So if you have like a sale going on and you want to post about, these beautiful baskets you're making for the holiday, and then you want to boost that post, that's a time I would definitely encourage someone to boost it. Excuse me. But if you would like to make a bigger impact and you want to set up a more official ad through Ad Manager, that's the piece I'm going to show you here in just a second. So here we are back on the Facebook business page. All of you should be able to see that. And first thing I'm going to want to do is I am wanting to make an ad. So there's a couple avenues you can get to Ad Manager from. One thing you can go to your ad center, which Facebook has built in now. And you can create an ad from here. You can also go to your business suite, which is another avenue for you to get into your ad space. Personally, I go through the business suite because I like to have all my features there. I don't really find that I get as many of the targeting features that I need to by doing it on this ad center area. And I've talked to some other people that say the same thing, so I'm not sure if that's a strategic plan for Facebook or if that was a mistake, but I tend to go through Business Suite to set up my ads. So when I click on create an ad, the first thing it's going to ask me is kind of what are my intentions with the ad? Hey, what the heck's your goal with this ad? So is it to get more leads, boost a post, which again, I stated earlier was something you could actually do from the post itself, boost an event, visit to your website, whatever it might be. So let's say I'd like to get more leads, okay?